Good news! Fyre Festival Part 2 is in the works. And I can't think of anyone who's more ready for that than this guy. Shanna Christmas here, bringing you the news with Cussin. Be sure to subscribe. Stay tuned. Let's get into it. Convicted felon and known scam artist Billy McFarland tweeted, "Fyre Festival 2 is finally happening. Tell me why you should be invited." And what? Is this, what are we doing? Is anybody actually considering going after part 1? Was that even a festival? How do you have a part 2 if part 1 didn't even happen? What is wrong with these white men just failing upwards? He shouldn't even be allowed to tweet about Fyre Festival. Ridiculous. Tibetan religious leader the Dalai Lama is in hot water today because he kissed a little boy on the lips and then told him to suck his tongue. It already sounds gross just by reading it, but there's actually video. Let's all cringe together, shall we? This poor child is giving us all the nonverbal cues. You know, the whole like this thing? You ever have some man who you don't want in your face? Maybe he buys you a drink at a bar and now he thinks you're his girlfriend, so he keeps leaning in to talk to you and you're like, all the nonverbal cues. And he's just like, he doesn't care. Just like most predators. Telling anyone at all to suck my tongue just feels gross. I don't want to suck your tongue. There's chapstick for that, please. Of course, he was like, hey man, I was just joking. I always tell people to suck my tongue. I'm just a big old jokester. Remember that time I met Barack Obama and me and him was, I told him to suck my tongue too. That's just kind of how I roll, man. That's just what the Dalai Lama does. Ahead of the recent mayoral election in Chicago, the Chicago Police Union leader had warned of blood in the streets and mass resignations if the black guy won. Both candidates were Democrats, but one was a black man named Brandon Johnson, who was a school teacher, and the other man was a white guy. And apparently, the black guy becomes the mayor. Blood in the streets. The head of the police union, Mr. Catanzara, predicted that 800 to 1,000 policemen would resign if Brandon Johnson won. Let's go, Brandon. What's funny about this is that history shows us that in New York, major crime complaints fell when the cops took a break from proactive policing. Imagine, crime goes down when the police aren't there harassing citizens. I say go for it. And now with phonetic fuck-ups, a lot of people think that grammar mistakes are okay, and sometimes they are. Toot, toot, toot. Sometimes you can look past that and still have sex with a person, but in this case, it's quite glaring that you gotta really pay attention to what you're saying. Here we have a screenshot from somebody named Jenny on Facebook that says, "I'd rather be pissed off than pissed on." Jenny's just out here getting herself real angry. She's like, road rage. You asshole, I hate you so much. And then someone pulls his dick out and like pees on her in the car. Like that's what she's asking for. Jenny wants to get really angry and have someone pee on her. Do you understand the distinction between then and then now? Do you see how you can get into hot water when you get the things wrong? Do you understand? Jenny, then and then are very important. Piss me off, then piss on me, and I'll get pissed off again. I'm sure she's a fine woman. So I've been single for a little while, and I was just thinking of like interesting date ideas. I mean, I never go on dates, to be honest. I just meet people in the wild at shows and stuff, so I don't really know what's going on. But I do have an interesting idea for a date, okay? I think when you guys go on a first date, first date, you should build furniture together. Hear me out. Furniture building or building anything shows you so many things about someone's personality, their work ethic, their patience, their stick-to-itiveness, if they get frustrated, and if they are overbearing or they want to take over or just say, I don't care about it. I was putting together a thing for my mom and I put it together wrong at least 3 times. And my mom even walked by and was like, if that was your father, he would have given up by now. And I was like, wow. So you learn so much about a person by putting things together. Escape rooms, that might work. No more of this coffee shop BS stuff. We want to get right to the nitty gritty. Are you going to leave me if I get into a horrific car accident? That's what I want to know. Let's put this couch together and see if that's going to happen. If the instructions are just pictures and not words, that tells you so much too, because you have to pay attention to detail. Are you going to notice when I cut my hair? Are you going to notice when I'm a size smaller? Are you going to notice these things? Are you paying attention to me? Are you paying attention to me? That's going to do it for this week's episode. Thanks for sticking around. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel, and I'll be back next week with more news with Cussin. See you next time. Bye-bye.